Let us start with book to cover festivals and celebrations from many different countries. It is Around the World in 80 Festivals by Nancy Dickman and Lucy Bernardi. When do you eat bread of the dead or walk barefoot across red hot coals? When might you dress up as a demon in a hairy suit and huge horned headdress? What are you celebrating if you climb an 18-meter high tower made of buns? Includes a central gatefold that opens out to reveal a calendar of all the festivals featured in this book. This is a visual celebration of festivals from across the globe, from the more familiar to those you might never have heard of before. Discover more about the Jackanoo in Bahamas, Juneteenth in the United States, Matariki in New Zealand, and Poland's Great Dragon Parade. As you journey around the world, explore celebrations of food and drink, nature, culture, religion, and history, plus work to mark the passing years. Ways that you can celebrate these festivals all within this book. This is a great book for your Key Stage 3 pupils. It was even longlisted for the SLA Information Book Awards back in 2023, but it's still good now. The content is engaging, the illustrations are lovely, and it is a nice addition for your bookshelves for those readers who enjoy dipping in and out of non-fiction books and to learning facts. Next, we are quickly moving towards Christmas. So let's go straight in with a festive mystery, or 13, shall I say. The Very Merry Murder Club by Serena Patel, Robin Stevens, and Harry Woodgate, and many other authors involved in this. A wintry middle grade mystery collection of short stories by 13 of the most exciting and diverse authors in children's books today. Sleuthing through the snow on a merry, mysterious day, in disguise we go, investigating all the way. It's a collection that brings together 13 best-selling award winners and exciting debut authors, including Annabel Sami, Benjamin Dean, Elle McNichol, Serena Patel, Nizrana Farouk, Maisie Chan, Patrice Lawrence. I mean, you get the idea, Shana Jackson, plenty of fantastic names here. Join them as part of the Very Merry Murder Club as they lead you on a snow-covered wintry journey of Christmassy crimes, festive foul play, and murderously magnificent mysteries. I note that this book was shortlisted for the Diverse Book Awards Children's Prize 2022 with 13 short stories. It's a wonderful book for those who struggle with reading stamina. The stories hook you in, and before you know it, you're lost in the mysteries, with titles such as The Christmas Heist, No Peace for the Wicked, Gravel and Murder, and It's No Crime. You know this book is going to be popular in your library. To give you an idea, here's an opening paragraph from the very first story, Shoe Done It by Elle McNichol. Ballerinas are extremely difficult to kill. As someone who took a special interest in ballet, Brian knew this. She knew they were great athletes. She knew they put their bodies through absolute extreme in order to give an incredible performance. However, it was not just their fitness and strength that made them difficult to harm, it was also their nature. They were, in Briar's opinion, the most incredibly humble type of people, a competitive industry full of hardworking, sensitive, and generous dancers. But Posy Lennox was not that kind of ballerina. She was, in that regard, exceptional. So, as you get an idea there, that really does hook you in. So, definitely a must for your bookshelves in your library. And so, from an established mystery title, now we move on to something new. Silent Night by Emma Reed is published this month in November 2025, and the summary for it simply reads: When Mason, Connor, and Jess woke up in the caravan on Christmas morning, a chill of unease fills the air. Their presents sit untouched in the house across the way, but their parents are nowhere to be found. Outside, a blizzard rages. Families don't just vanish on Christmas Day. Something is very wrong. But what? This book is inspired by Day of the Triffids. There's even a Christmas tree covered in black goo, just to give you an idea. So Emma Reed's previous book, The House Trap, was really incredibly creepy read and was very popular with pupils. So you know the quality of writing will engage. It's a chilling thriller, perfect for those who love a scare. And I'm thinking of those pupils who love the Jennifer Killick books, Goosebumps, and point horror type stories. So another Christmas book published this month. This will be the last Christmas book in this session. This time it's a non-fiction book, The Secret History of Christmas by Catherine Saunders and Lena Adink. Christmas is a day when history is made. From William the Conqueror's dramatic coronation in 1066 and the World War One truce in 1914 to the incredible launch of the James Webb Telescope in 2021 and daring Christmas heists. A lot has happened on Christmas days down the year. Discover quirky traditions and winter solstice celebrations, from the Vikings to the Mayans, and learn about the food the people eat and festivities from around the world. See December 25th like it's never seen before. Includes stories of peace, celebration, sports, a heist, and a rebellion. It's another interesting book to have on your shelves for those who like to dip in and out of non-fiction and to learn facts. You might find things in here to inspire displays within your library and also activities in that run up to Christmas. Moving on from Christmas, we now look at the Lunar New Year. And here we have The Lunar New Year Love Story by Jean Lin Yang and Li Yin Pham. This is a lovely graphic novel and it was published last year. A Vietnamese American teenager worries that she will follow in her family's history and never find true love, but discovers things about herself and her family along her journey to happiness. She was destined for heartbreak. Then fate handed her love. Val was ready to give up on love. It's led to nothing but secrets and heartbreak, and she's pretty sure she is cursed. No one in her family for generations has ever had any luck in love. But then a chance encounter with a pair of cute lion dancers sparks something in Val. Is it real love, or could this be a chance to break that family curse? Or is she destined to live with a broken heart forever? A heartwarming young adult graphic novel rom-com about fate, family, and falling in love. So this is a great graphic novel for your Key Stage 4, Key Stage 5 collections, and will be enjoyed particularly by those who love a romance story, and we do know those pupils who do. Here's an example of one of the internal pages where they are celebrating the Lunar New Year. I think this is where it's all just about to happen. And it gives you a really good indication of the quality of that artwork. So around the same time as Lunar New Year, we have Ramadan. And so here is a book that is currently out in hardback, but with the paperback due out in February 2026. The Partition Project by Sadia Faruqi, which is set around the festival of Ramadan. In this engaging and moving middle grade novel, Sadia writes about the contemporary Pakistani American girl whose passion for journalism starts a conversation with her grandmother's experience of the partition of India and Pakistan and the bond that the two form as she helps Daddy with her story. When her grandmother comes off the aeroplane at Houston from Pakistan, Manur knows having Daddy move in is going to disrupt everything in her life. She doesn't have time to be Daddy's unofficial babysitter. Her journalism teacher has announced that they have a big assignment, which will be to film a documentary. which feels more like storytelling than what Maha would call journalism. As starts to settle into life in Houston, and Maha scrambles for a subject for a documentary, the two of them start talking about Dadi's childhood in northern India and about the partition that forced her to leave her home and relocate to the newly created Pakistan. As details of Dadi's life are revealed, her personal story feels more like breaking news than Maha loves so much. And before she knows it, she has the subject of her documentary. Bring to life an important part of history and an engaging story is an interesting read for your Key Stage 3 pupils. And as I said, it is set around the Ramadan, so ties in nicely with that time of year to promote it. Next, we have Once Upon an Eid, Stories of Hope and Joy from 15 Muslim voices. Eid, the short single syllable word, conjures up a variety of feelings and memories for Muslims. Maybe it's waking up to the sound of frying samosas or the comfort of bean pie. And maybe it's the joy of putting on a new outfit for Eid prayers. Maybe it's the gift giving and the holiday parties or the carnival rides that come that day. Whatever it may be, for those who cherish this day of celebration, the emotional responses may be summed up in another short and sweet word: joy. Part story, part graphic novel, lovely illustrations. This is a perfectly beautiful collection about the celebration of Eid. It is really lovely for middle grade, so your early key stage 3 pupils will really engage with this. Our next book is We Are Your Children by David Roberts. It's a perfect book for celebrating Pride. This book showcases figures from queer history, such as Harvey Milk, Julian Howes, Carla Tony, Crystal LeBeja, Wiwa, Vincent Jones, Marsha P. Johnson, Alan Turing, Sylvia Riviera, and many more. From the secret slang adopted by gay Londoners in the 60s to the decades of sit-ins and marches, there are countless fascinating stories to be told. Stories of resistance, friendship, love, fear, division, unity, and astonishing perseverance in the face of discrimination and oppression. Touching on major moments in the story of the fight for LGBTQ plus rights, including the Stonewall Uprising, the first gay pride rally, and the dazzling history of drag and ballroom scene. We Are Your Children is a wide-ranging and inclusive account of multifaceted movement with detailed and characterful, colourful artwork. It was published in May this year, 2025, and this is a must-have for your shelves, packed with information and engaging illustrations from David Roberts, and also an afterword by Juno Dawson. I think this one will be really popular in your libraries. The cover itself grabs your attention. The content in it is so informative. I think pupils will really engage with this. So now moving on to next autumn, and yes, we're thinking that far ahead. This is a lovely one for your Key Stage 3 readers. All Four Moons, Quarters of the Moon. It's a story about moving and fitting into a new culture, changes in family bonds and friendship, all set up around the Mid-Autumn Festival. Everything so far, if Pei Ying had to sum it up, is a string of awkward, small experiences that she hoped would end soon. The night of the Mid-Autumn Festival, making mooncakes with armor, was the last time Pei Ying remembers her life being the same. Now facing a new home, a new school, and a new language, everything is different. Pei Ying thinks everything is going to turn out okay so long as they have each other, but cracks are starting to appear in the family. Bu, lovable but annoying, needs Pei Ying to be the dependable big sister. Arma keeps forgetting who she is, and Mama and Baba are no longer themselves. Pei Ying has no idea how she is supposed to cope with the uncertainties of her own world while shouldering the burden of everyone else. If her family are the four quarters of the mooncake, where does she even fit in? We know Shirley Ma is an excellent author. Previous book, Countdown to the Stars, is a lovely story about, and so this one, again, it's a lovely story about dealing with change and being together with friends and family at this time of year. Next up, in the autumn festival trend, we have Mexico's Day of the Dead by Luisa Navarro and Christine Chitnis. So whether you're new to the holiday or celebrating for the first time, looking to process a recent loss, or just interested in this authentic Mexican cultural tradition, Mexico's Day of the Dead paints a vibrant picture of one of the country's most storied and sacred holidays. With photographer Christine Chitnis by side, author Louisa Navarra documents the most breathtaking displays, as well as the artisans and the people who keep the traditions alive. She delves into the origins of the holiday, its rich iconography, and modern day customs. Thoughtful essays on the evolution of Dia de Muertos are coupled with practical guides for celebrating it yourself, as Louisa shares tips for cultivating your own Day of the Dead traditions. Turn to Mexico's Day of the Dead for approachable DIY projects, such as build your own altar, make your own sugar skulls, and create papel picado, and bake your own delicious pan de muerto at home. So this book was published in September this year, 2025. And as you can see from these internal spreads, there's amazing photographs to capture the spirit of the festival, interspersed with the information of how it's celebrated. It's an interesting book for your older pupils if they want to learn about this festival, but also a great source of inspiration. When it comes to that time of year, you can do your own celebrations in the library to introduce pupils to it. As we said, there's lots of craft projects in here and recipes as well to follow. Um, so it is a great book full of information that can be useful for pupils and for teachers looking for that inspiration. So moving on to Diwali now, and here is a book for your Key Stage 3 pupils, all about Diwali by Swapna Haddo and Aditi Kakadi Bofrand. Diwali is one of India's most significant holidays. This beautiful activity book is filled with crafts and recipes, fun activities, and facts about Diwali celebrations observed by over 1 billion people across the faith. Read all about why Diwali is named the Festival of Lights and discover the stories behind it. Children can create magical lanterns, make a diya, put together Diwali fan decorations, paint Rangoli patterns, and make a Diwali paper rocket. Recipes include potato curry, spiced rice with peas, milk peda, coconut burfi, almond halwa, and this is definitely the ultimate book of Diwali fun. It's a lovely book for your library shelves to get the children thinking beyond the book. Lots of activities you can try in the library and across the school if you're looking to collaborate with other departments. You'll find plenty of inspiration here to create your own Diwali celebrations in your school, particularly if you've got pupils who themselves celebrate Diwali. This is a lovely way to make your library welcoming. So moving towards the end of October and Halloween. And here is The Last Day of October by Bill Hicks, renowned author. If you go down to the woods today, you're sure to have a nasty surprise. Seeking creepy thrills instead of candy, Cody and his friends set out on Halloween to search for ruins of the haunted McBride house in the woods near his home in Oregon. The house has taken on a sinister legendary status after it burned down 100 years ago with tragic consequences. It's said that the ghosts of the house of the family who lived there return each year on the last day of October. But when they find the house, the truth of what is happening on this eerie autumn night is more terrifying than the three teenagers could ever have Imagine. I mean, this is another lovely book for those children who love a scare. I'm particularly a fan. And so, yeah, if you've got children fan of Jennifer Killick, Goosebumps, Point Horror, or those who just want that nice creepy Halloween read, definitely recommend The Last Day of October. With Halloween theme, there's a book that covers a number of those wonderful celebrations throughout the year. Spooky celebrations around the world. You'll have heard of Halloween, maybe Dia de Muertos or Ubuntu, but did you know there are spooky festivals all over the world? Across every continent, there are festivals that celebrate and honor spirits. Children will delight in discovering the stories behind these 21 amazing celebrations, capturing the joy in many of these festivals and respectful nature of others. Stunning artwork with fun details to spot. Children will learn all about the interesting ways these festivals are celebrated today. The book builds on children's knowledge of recognizable festivals and introduces them to others that they may not have heard of. Celebrating cultural traditions, this book encourages children to be curious about and respectful of the world around them. It includes lesser known festivals such as the Basler Fastnacht in Switzerland, the Fête Gedi in Haiti, Gay Jatra in Nepal, Samhain in Northern Europe, and Setsuban in Japan, among many others. It's a really interesting book for your library shelves that is sure to be well rifled through. And finally, as we get to Remembrance Day, here is a book that was published in April 2025 this year, Under a Fire Red Sky by Geraldine McCaffrey. With World War II looming, four young people sit on a train waiting to be evacuated to a safer place, but they don't want to go. They climb out of the carriage window, head back to Greenwich, forming an unlikely friendship. They spend their days trying to be useful. Lawrence is building a secret machine. Jemmy searches bombed out houses for things of value, only to find an adorable mutt that she can't even give away. Franklin wants to join the fire service, although it means lying about his age. And Olive looks after her father, who is broken by the deaths of his fellow firefighters. And together, the four roam the streets of London, discovering the resilience among the secrets of the city. But as the Blitz unleashes a barrage of bombs on London, turning the sky rage with flame, can the friends keep each other safe and survive? I mean, it's always good to find a new story about World War II and the Blitz. To have one by double Carnegie winner Geraldine McCaffrey is fantastic. This is one to add to your collections when talking about this important parts of history, but also for putting on display around Remembrance Day. So that's the final book, and thank you for listening.